Hey everybody, it's Chad with Nobody Else's Auto. Got everything up and rolling. We are live at 7 o'clock Sunday evening, May 24th. We're going to give everybody a few seconds to start jumping on with us, and then we will get rolling here in a few seconds. So we'll give everybody 20 or 30 seconds here. Let the notifications hit that we are ready to roll tonight. And so far, everything is working. Everything turned on. So I'm going to take that as a win, and we'll see if we can get all the way through tonight with it working. So we'll give it a few more seconds. We've got some people jumping on with us. As always, thanks for being here. Really enjoy the fact that you guys jump on and spend some of your Sunday evening with me. Tonight, hopefully, hey, we got comments on Nobody's Show. Thanks. Hello from Texas. Glad James is on with us. We have been fighting the comments on the Nobody's Show page on Facebook for the last several weeks. It did work. It's Tuesday night on Toy Tuesday. Dad says it's hard to hear. Let me try to speak up, and maybe we can clear it up a little bit. I got Illinois on with us on the Nobody Else's Auto page. Kind of an exciting day for me on the Nobody Else's Auto page on Facebook. I'll probably lose some now that I say this, but I hit 20,000 likes today on the Nobody Else's Auto page on Facebook. So pretty excited about that. And like I said, that's all thanks to you guys. I mean, I'm just the guy that gets to post pictures and talk to you guys. So, but it would be pretty boring if it was just me. Massachusetts on with us. Glenn's on from Minnesota. Bakersfield, California. Thanks a lot, guys. Ohio on YouTube. We're pretty much getting a lot of the corners of the country covered. So there's Florida. So we're hitting all the way around. More from Ohio, Tennessee. All right, we're getting a lot of people on. That's exciting. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad that you're back with us to spend some time with us this evening. Tonight, exciting things starting to happen. At least things are getting rescheduled. Things are starting to happen. There is a swap meet supposed to happen in Kansas next weekend. Pretty excited about that. I think in Ark City, down around Ark City, Kansas, supposed to be a swap meet. May try to make that hopefully next weekend. Canada's on with us. All right, hey Canada, thanks for being here. Iowa, all right, we're everywhere tonight. That's awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. So it's exciting. Things are starting to happen. Races are starting to happen. They actually opened up Texas Motorplex for spectators this weekend. That was supposed to be a pay-per-view only event, no spectators, only cars and racers allowed. And they actually opened that up at the last minute. So things are looking better, guys. We're excited. We're keeping our fingers crossed. Things keep going. Yes, NASCAR's happening. Everything, it's finally starting to happen. Michigan. All right. Dennis forgot to call last week for his prize. That's fine. Give me a call after we get done tonight, Dennis. We'll get you taken care of. Wisconsin on 39 Chevy Deluxe front fenders. I've got a couple of 39s. I did not remember if there's any front fenders left. So give me a call after we get done, and I will get you on my list to check that. So the biggest problem I think we're all going to have now is there's going to be stuff that is just going to get stacked on top of each other. Everybody wants to get their events in. Everybody wants to make things happen. So that's going to be the most challenging part, is trying to squeeze in everything we want to do. So that's what we're all going to have some patience with. We're going to have to prioritize. We're going to have to decide what's the most important thing that we want to do. Pennsylvania, Henderson, Nevada, out by Vegas is on with us. Great. Thanks, guys. So I'm just excited things are starting to happen. Want to get out and do some stuff, swap meets, races, all kinds of cool stuff happening. So obviously makes me feel better. I hope it's making you guys feel better too about the possibility. We're getting some blue thumbs on that on Facebook, so I think everybody's excited that things are finally starting to break loose and at least get scheduled, and a few things starting to happen. So that's always exciting news. Hopefully I can get down to that swap meet this weekend, just because I haven't gotten out of here in a couple months. It'd be fun to go out and do something. And I got Jim from Illinois on YouTube. Thanks, guys. Tonight's topic that I kind of want to bring up, and it's come up a couple of times here lately, and people, they almost kind of seem perturbed They'll ask me for something. I'll say, well, I'll write it down. I'll check and see. They're like, well, can't you look it up on your computer? Guys, there is no computer program for this stuff that I know of. I've never seen anything. There are too many different variations on all of this stuff. Santa Maria, California, on with us. Thanks for being here, Santa Maria. As we all know, if we've been in this business for any length of time or had your project cars for any length of time, we've been around this stuff, they changed stuff when it came down the line and they got new parts. A lot of people are familiar with, we got Rob on Nobody's Show. Hey, Rob, thanks for being here. In today's world, with the computer systems, they can pull everything by VIN. On any car that was made in the last 20, 25 years, they can pull the VIN number and the computer system will tell them everything they need to know. You've got the Hollander Interchange, you've got carpart.com, you've got all these computer systems where you can literally put the VIN in and it will spit you out a list of sheets of how that car was equipped, or I think they've probably even got handhelds for it now, where you can literally go out and then you check the vehicle, check off what's good, what's bad, and put it into your computer. And it's all right there in order because it's all based off of VIN. As most of us have probably run into in this world before, that didn't happen back in the day. There was a change when the new parts showed up. And that's what they started. If they ran out of parts in this bin at 1028 and the next bin showed up at 1031 and the parts were different, that's what went on the vehicle at that point. So, and it's like, some of these guys are just shocked. Like, well, you don't have a computer, can't just punch it in. And no, I can't. And a lot of the calls I get, I've got a 48 Chevy truck that I pulled the 216 out. I swapped in a 235 and I need throttle linkage or clutch linkage or something. I'm like, well, do you need the 235 linkage? Do you need the 216 linkage? Do you need half of each? There's no computers for this stuff, which is why it is so critical to call me so we can have that conversation, which brings me to another point. I've had a ton of texts this week. Guys, if you text me, you're not going to get an answer. I delete them. There is no possible way to keep up with texts. And this is part of the reason why. Because there again, if I had a computer system where you could categorize all this stuff, you could, that would make it a lot easier. But there is no such thing. There was where they were running changes. What I've got to work with are books like these, the old Hollander manuals, which shows interchange between different vehicles and things like that. I can look this stuff up, but there are so many differences, and literally the stuff changed as it was going down the line. So that's what I've got to work with, and that's why the phone calls are so important. I mean, literally before I got on, I got a text, you got any Chevelles? Yes, there are some Chevelles here. I don't know if you need a door handle or if you're looking for an LS6 convertible, because that's all the text says. What happens if I was to try to respond to every text? This is what I would do all day, every day. I would be doing this, typing like this. What happens when I have to do that? Then I have to put down the impact, put down the screwdriver, put down the tape gun so I can physically start typing. I don't have that kind of time, especially when I get dozens and dozens of phone calls every day. If I'm busy, I can answer your call. If I've got to put you on speaker and sit the phone down right where I'm working, more than happy to have a conversation with you about what you need and what we're trying to accomplish. I absolutely do not have time to play 20 questions on texts every day. I literally would waste hours and hours and hours a day on texts. So that's why it's so critical to call me. And I'm sure I make some people mad, but there's just no way to respond to it, because then I go down a rabbit hole that goes on for hours and it's just not feasible. So that's why the phone calls are so important. There is no computer system. Yeah, Russ, I might have a Chevelle, depending on what you need. So, but that's why it's critical. And that's why communication is so critical, because this stuff changed all the time. There was no rhyme or reason to it. It changed when they got a new part in. When they got a different door handle in, it got the new door handle. When it got a different hinge or a different emblem or whatever, when the new batch showed up, that's when they switched. So I was talking to a guy one time, an old farmer, about some old Chevy trucks he had, and they had a truck they bought brand new, about a 48. It was about a 48. And I was talking to him about it, and he said, yeah, that's what we got. That's what showed up, so that's what we got. And I said, that's what showed up, so that's what you got. He said, yeah, after the war, trucks were so hard to get, you put your name on a list, and when they got another batch of trucks in and they got to your name, they called you. And if you wanted the truck that they had on the lot, you could buy it. If you didn't, you went back on the list and they called the next guy. And that was literally kind of how things happened back then. You didn't get to order it. You didn't get to pick it out. The demand was so high that happened. So a computer system, that's why the computer system works for late model cars. They can run it off of a VIN and punch the VIN in, and they know exactly when it was built. They know exactly how it was equipped. They know exactly what options it had. They know exactly what color it was, even down to some of the alternates on the colors. So that's why it's important. And there again, it's just I'm kind of rehashing some of this stuff, but it continues to happen. And there again, the computer part of it, I've been getting more and more questions on that. People are like, why don't you have a computer that have all this stuff in? There's no system for it. Not that you could effectively do it without going out there and manually inventorying every part on every car. And with about 1,100 of them out there, that'd be a pretty big challenge. We got some questions coming up. The books are the best. Yeah, Hollander books are very handy. There's no doubt about it. Edward, do I have a 73 F100 owner's manual or repair manual? That I'm not sure about. Give me a shout after we get done, and I'll be happy to look. Robert got some hinges for a 68 Skylark. Glad they made it. Glad they worked out. Those were pretty decent looking hinges. I'm happy those worked out for you. Rico and Jess are on. Our friends Rico and Jess in Kansas City are on with us. Glad that they're here. So let me make sure we're all caught up here with everybody. We seem to be. So what's coming up this week? On Nobody's Show, we hauled in some more Buicks from Dad's place. We'll probably get a few more Buicks shot. I picked up some more inventory this week, so we'll definitely have some new inventory on the episodes this week. And we'll probably try to squeeze another one in from the new yard and try to keep working our way through that. Let's see what we got, Russ. A 4x8 whiteboard and make a list. Okay, we got Russ has got a long comment over here. Yeah, like he said, he used to work at super shops, and he always told them make a list, and then we'll see what we can do. And that's totally true. And that's the other thing and Russ brings up a good point, and I get those calls too. I've got a '64 Chevy truck. What do you have? Well, that's a pretty broad topic. A lot of 64 to 66 stuff fits. I have no idea which kind of 64 Chevy truck you have, and there's no possible way for me to go inventory every single piece I would have for a 64 Chevy truck. It could not happen. Wayne, 68 Ford XL two-door hardtop right glass. I do not have any 68 Ford two-door hardtop in stock right now. I've got some pieces, but not any complete cars with glass in them. 55 Chevy 152 door wagon, window regulators and channels. Those might be the same as posts, and I've got some Pontiac posts. So let's see what we got here. Russ, sorry. Oh, no, Russ, don't worry about it. No big deal. I'm just trying to keep flowing. So I appreciate your comments. I do want to read them. I'm trying to keep moving, and my brain don't work that quick sometimes. But no, you brought up some great points, Russ. Thanks. Charles Wickham, 88 to 98 GM trucks. Are they too new for you? Absolutely not. That is some of the next thing that is coming up. So we those 88 to 98 Chevy trucks. In fact, I've got one in new arrivals tonight for you. So no, 88 to 98 Chevy GM trucks, I absolutely will buy. They are part of the next wave of what we have been talking about and what I've kind of been preaching about on here. That, today's high school senior that graduated this week in 2020 was born in 2002. A 95 Chevy pickup is an old car to him. A 91 Mustang Fox body is an old car to that high school senior. An 88 Camaro is an old car. That is the next wave. That is where this thing is heading. And if we don't realize that now, we're all going to be in trouble. So when that kid pulls into your cruise night in a 94 Chevy pickup or an 88 Camaro or a Fox body Mustang, or even like a 96 Mustang or a 4th gen F body, a 93 to 02, those kids, that's old stuff to them. It may not be what you think's old, but hey, that's where this thing is going, and that's what we've got to remember. We absolutely have to remember how important that stuff is. So Todd bought the Apache hood for his 60 Chevy truck. It looks great. Awesome. Glad it worked out for you, Todd. That was a pretty good hood for as hard as those are to find. YouTube, is it a bad idea to restore a classic car for my first vehicle? That's a very, very wide open question on YouTube. It depends. Obviously, I would definitely not suggest a full-blown restoration on for your first vehicle because of the time and money involved. And I assume if it's going to be your first vehicle, you want to get something on the road. Now, what I would suggest is something, depending on what you like and what you're interested in, try to get something that's halfway decent, maybe at least running and driving that you can work on and improve. But a full-blown restoration obviously can get into months and years and tens of thousands of dollars. So my suggestion to Deadstroke on YouTube would be, understand what your limitations are, understand what your budget is, and understand what your ultimate goal is, and then go from there. And obviously, and actually, that's a great question because I do get that quite a bit. I get a lot of calls, and every week I get a couple of these that are literally, I want to fix up an old pickup. What do I want? Well, I don't know what you want. Start looking at pictures on the internet. Start looking at magazines. Start looking at books. Get a plan put together of what you like, what your budget is, and what your ultimate goal is. So it's that's where you need to start. Figure out what you like. Figure out what your limitations are, what your budget is, and where you want to go with it. And my suggestion would be get something that's pretty much intact and possibly even running and driving that you could do some work on and improve and make it better and make it yours. But that wouldn't be my first suggestion to dive into a full-blown frame-off restoration for your first vehicle, just because of the time and the work involved. Tailgate for a 60 F-250 fleet side. I do not think I've got any of those. If you want to give me a shout out for the broadcast, I can get you on my list and double check and see. So, do I sell oil cans and signs? Some. I do sell some cans. I sell very few signs. I've got a few signs I would part with. But for the most part, we collect a lot of that stuff. So most of that stuff is my own private stash, so to speak. 50 Plymouth Chrome headlight bezels, that is a possibility, Wayne. I do have some 50 Plymouths. Give me a call after we get done here, and I will get you on my list to check this week. So, trivia. Time for trivia. I got an easy one for you tonight. Since we got the Chevrolet clock up, I thought we would do a Chevrolet-themed deal. Give away another Chevrolet badge. These always seem to be popular. Everybody seems to like the old, it's about a 29 to 31 Chevrolet badge. They went on the grill shell. This is a decent one. It's got some chips and stuff in it, but it's got pretty good color. Cool piece. So that's what tonight's winner is going to get. So if everybody's ready, make sure all my comments are current here before we do it. And let's go into the 70s for tonight. The 70s Chevrolet question. The A-body Malibus in the mid-70s in the Colonnade Coupe area of the A-body GM cars, which are starting to get popular. They were cool, and nobody saved them. Most of that stuff got crushed. Nobody thought they were ever going to be desirable. Well, guess what? They're starting to get that way, and there's not much left. So in the mid-70s Malibu, what was the top-of-the-line sporty type Malibu in the mid-70s? So I'm going to keep my eyes peeled on the comments. 70 to 72 Chevelle two-door back seat. I should have one of those. Want to give me a call when we get done, Scott. Restorable 73 to 77 Monte Carlos. I've got a few, but nothing that's really a good project. Jim got it. Jim Bolins on YouTube, the Laguna. That is correct. The Laguna Malibu in the mid-70s was the sporty type version. And let's see. What else we got here? So Jim Bolins is our winner tonight. And actually, we had a couple of them all pop up, but Jim was first. So we're going to have to go with Jim tonight on that one. Jim, give me a shout when we get done, and I will get your information and get this on the way out to you. So I'll get that in the mail here this week once everything gets opened back up. Back to some other questions. And thanks for playing, everybody. I knew it was kind of an easy one. So, but yeah, it didn't take long, but I kind of expected that. But I do like those cars. I think they are cool. And interesting fact, I was looking some stuff up on those. In 1973, you could actually get a Laguna wagon. So They didn't make a lot of them. It looked like they made about 6,000 or 7,000 of them. But that would be a kind of a cool piece to stumble on today. Obviously, wagons are hot. Mid-70s cars are hot. Laguna wagon would be a pretty cool piece. So anyway, let's see. Let me get back to some of my questions. 60 El Camino. Yeah, Jason, 60 El Camino parts are tough. There's no doubt about that. 70 to 81 Camaros in halfway decent shape for a first project. I've got one that's intact, but it would need everything. I probably wouldn't consider it a great project on that one. So nothing good, nothing that's like close to running and mostly intact to work with. So anyway, let me see, make sure we're caught up, and then let's get into new arrivals for this week. Obviously, like I told you, we've been moving more Buicks from my dad's place. So definitely had a batch of Buicks come in this week. 1951 Super, 1950 Special 2-door fastback sedanette, and a 1950 Special 4-door. 56 Special, 50 Super, and a 52 Special. We all moved in from Dad's place this week. 1930 Chevy Coupe taillights. I do not have anything there at all. Let's see. What else coming? Oh, back to our question about 90 Chevy pickups or GM pickups. I did pick up a 98 GMC 3/4 ton 4-wheel drive pickup this week. And like we talked about, that's the next wave. So I'm going to try to grab that stuff when I can find it. I got this one on a package deal with 8 other vehicles. And it's definitely going to go back to the Chevy section to sit there till somebody needs pieces off of it. So I got the 98 GMC, and I also had a 1948 Dodge truck come in, a 1.5 ton farm truck. Really, really clean sheet metal on that truck. So lots of good pieces left on that one. We'll start getting pictures posted on that stuff soon also. So 58 Buick 4-door front driver's door glass. Depends on which body style we're talking about, Wayne, as to whether or not I may or may not have something there. So anyway, that's kind of what I've got for tonight. Looking forward to getting out and shooting some more video for this week's Nobody Show. Hopefully gets a few more vehicles picked up. If you guys need anything, give me a call, just like all the guys that we've caught tonight. Give me a shout after we get done so that I can get you on my list and check and see what you've got. I am still shipping like crazy. I'm getting a ton of parts shipped. So if you do need something, be sure to give me a call and get on the list so I can see if I've got it and try to get stuff on the way to you. So that's basically what I've got for tonight. Make sure we're all caught up on questions everywhere. And at this point, we appear to be. So I guess with that, we will start getting ready to wind things down for the evening. As always, I can't believe you guys hang out with me. I'm super stoked that you guys are on with me and take some time out of your evening to hang out with us. Passenger door for a 60 F-250, Steve. I should have something there. So give me a call on that and I'll get you on my list. Rusty's on with us. Howdy, Rusty. And like I said, I'm having a blast doing this, but without you guys, it's pretty boring. So I'm excited to see the numbers going up. Please tell your friends about it. The more we can get on with this, the more fun we're going to have. And like I said, I enjoy your questions. I'm glad you're on with me, and it's a lot of fun. The chat sessions we have, I can't believe I've been doing these for over 3 months now. It kind of shocked me when I look back and realized when I started these that we're still going. So, like I said, can't say enough. Can't thank you guys enough. Give me a call if you need something. And like I said, Rusty, 60 Nash. I'm not sure on that one. I think I've got some like 59 stuff. I'm not sure about a 60. I would need to double check that. So anyway, with that being said, Jim, give me a call when we get done. We missed our winner from last week. Forgot to call. Go ahead and give me a shout there too. Ted, thanks for what you do and keep this hobby going. Thanks, Ted. That means a lot. I'm definitely no expert, but I have fun doing it, and I've got a little experience in it. So I'm glad you guys hang out with me, and I'm glad you guys spend some time with me. So anyway, let me double check comments everywhere. Make sure we're scrolled all the way up on everything. Hey, Rusty's usually sleeping or driving. Well, what we try to do, I try to keep it on a schedule so everybody knows. So anyway, thanks a lot, everybody. Oh, good time to call. That's a great question, Ed. About any time, 8 to 8 Central Standard Time, I will try and catch the phone. If I'm on with somebody else, I cannot answer you. It's not fair to them to hang up on them. If you call me anytime between 8 and 8 Central Standard Time, I'm going to try to catch the phone. I have two numbers, and I can't answer both of them at the same time. So if I don't answer, leave me a quick message, and I will call you back, and we'll see, have a conversation and see what we can do. Rusty's a trucker. That's why he's always driving. He's one of our trucker buddies that has been keeping our stores restocked throughout all this. So thanks to Rusty. He's another one of our trucker friends. We've got some other trucker friends that have been on here. We got Dan Kuntz from Hutch on, good friend of ours. Big truck guy, huge with the ATHS, American Truck Historical Society. Great group of guys there. Check them out. 77 F350 single wheel. I do not have anything there. I got a 79 F350, but it is a dual rear wheel. So nothing there. AMC Rambler Classics. I've got some of those. Give me a call. Let me know exactly what we're talking about. So anyway, had another batch of questions pop up there at the last second. So I think that's all I had. But anyway, yeah, 8 to 8 Central Time, and I'm going to try to answer your call. If I miss you, it's because I'm on the phone with somebody else, and I will just leave me a quick message, and I will call you back. Don't start calling both phones back and forth because it doesn't I can't answer you any quicker if you keep calling both phones back and forth versus just giving me a shout. If I'm on it, leave me a quick message, and I will call you back as soon as I get down to the other guy, and I will get you on my notepad and see what we can do. So thanks a lot, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Had a great time again tonight. I hope you guys did. And we will see you guys tomorrow night on Nobody's Show. I went out and shot a bunch of pictures of the new inventory that came in this week. I'll start getting some of that stuff posted. And thanks for being here. Tell your friends. And hopefully they can join us next week. Thanks a lot, everybody. And we will see you tomorrow night on Nobody's Show.